You guys got a little bit of a crowded backfield out there.
Yep.
What's it been like working together with some of those guys?
So far, good. Everybody got great personalities. Right now, we're just working to get better. Looking forward to training camp, and then from there on to the season.
What do you think about Brian Robinson? How's he
A
impressed
big
you?
back. I didn't expect him to be that big, but it's a big back. Learning right now. Just taking advice, and he's going out there and putting it to the field.
What's your first impression of Carson?
Carson, big guy, a real big guy. I didn't know he was that big as well. Kind of tall, real broad, and right now we're just getting in the floor of things, so I haven't really got to see him in action. But today he looked good to me, we're just gonna build from here.
How are you feeling about this offense as you guys have continued to add pieces, including Carson and others?
I'm just ready to put it together. Like I said, we're in OTAs right now, so just trying to build, from scratch, and that's what we plan on doing. And just being able to see it unfold, to training camp to the seasons. I'm ready for that.
Hand off here. What did you learn last year? What do you take away from what happened last year?
Just enjoy it. The season can be long. The media can be tough sometimes, but there's not too many people that can sit back and say they have this job or they're doing their dream job. So, regardless of what's going on, enjoy it. At the same time, learn and grow from it. And that's my biggest thing, growing from mistakes and applying it to what I do and making sure it don't happen again. But at the same time, just have fun at the end of the day.
You mentioned the length of the season. Anything you'll take away in terms of taking care of yourself? I mean, there's only so much you can do, obviously, but
just keep growing. I feel like I'm just getting started. Like I said, the first 2 years, I was still learning. I'm going into year 3 now. I feel so much comfortable, and I'm just ready to show that.
Hey, Antonio, you guys got a lot of talent in that backfield. If it was running back by committee this year, how would you feel about that?
I would love it. I feel like why not go through us? We got so much talent in there, like you said. We got another big back. We still got JD. We got Jonathan Will in there. We still got JP and a new one also as well, Reggie. So, those guys are real cool, and that's what happens. We're ready for it.
Have the coaches given you any indication of what your workload would be compared to last year?
Not yet. We're still in OTAs, so we'll see.
And with Brian Robinson, have you been sort of helping him transition from college to the pros?
If he asks me any questions, I got him. But I don't feel like it's too hard for him. But, if you got a little question here, I'm definitely helping.
With Brian's size, just what can that do for a group, and how can, you guys were more of a duo last year. What does it mean to have like a trio now?
We shall see. It's OTAs. I'm not the offensive coordinator, so we'll see how that goes.
Right, but in terms of his size, is there stuff that he brings that you've noticed already, or anything that
we ain't put on pads yet, so But other than that, he a good guy. He got the athletic. He here. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely got what it takes. So when we put on pads and we get close to the season, I'm pretty sure I have more to say about that. Yeah.
What is this offseason like for you in terms of training or anything like that? Like, are you going away or anything?
Just focusing on me. I feel like I wanted to cut weight a little bit, so I did that. Work on my hips, did a lot of that, and just being a little bit more explosive, and, vision. That's something I focused on in Houston.
Did you feel like maybe being a little heavier was sapping some of your explosiveness or leading to injuries, or why was cutting weight sort of a goal of yours?
Not explosiveness. I feel like I had the explosiveness, but just that quick twitch. I feel like I was losing some of that, honestly. I wanted to get back to that. And as well as injuries, I wouldn't say it was because of that, but, it could be. So, why not just lose it and make sure I'm the best me?
And what was it like watching JD go to Buffalo and then come back to Washington? Was that a kind of a wacky thing for you to follow?
Not really. I didn't want my guy to leave. So, when he came back, I was like, all right, yeah, bring your ass back. Excuse my language. But that's my guy, man. The energy he brings to the team is phenomenal, and it's each day. So, that's not somebody you want to lose.
You part of the recruiting brigade to try and have him change his mind?
No, that was quick. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Obviously, a lot went on here last year for you guys, yet you still won 7 games. Like, things didn't, and then, things kind of got rough at the end for a variety of reasons. When you look back, what do you kind of take away as like the positives from that year that you kind of think you guys can like build forward now with some of your new pieces?
Just the team. Regardless of what's going on outside the locker room or outside the field, We fight. Down, bad things happen, they always fight. Nobody ever just gives up and just like, oh, we just finna take this L or we just gonna take how the season go. They continue to fight, and that's something I love about this team.
And obviously, we mentioned there's an extra running back now compared to last year. Maybe that means you get you more involved in the passing game or get you more in space outside. Is that something you think is a possibility? Is that something you kind of want to do?
A possibility, but like I said, that's up to coach and how he planned on seeing that. Right now, just training OTA, so we just focusing on getting better, getting our bodies right, and focusing up on these plays and trying to get better.
And I guess I get it's the coach's call, but are you a little surprised that maybe you hadn't been used as much as a receiver, considering that's what you were?
No, we got a lot of weapons out there, so wherever I can help out, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not much of I would love to get out there. Don't get me wrong, but wherever they want me at, that's where I'm gonna go. I'm not much of I need to be out there type of guy. Whatever's best for the team, that's what I'm gonna do.
Did you get a commander's jacket?
I did. I got one of those.
Is that something you could wear out in public, or is that just kind of like a ornament to have inside?
It got to be a special. You don't just put on a Letterman jacket for no reason. So it got to be somewhere special, I guess. Yeah.
Was it weird not seeing Terry out there? He's been with you the last 2 years.
Definitely. Team guy, but when he here, and he's a great teammate. So I support him.
And on the other side, Curtis Samuel, he was out there. Obviously missed a lot of time last year. What impression did you have of him?
It's good seeing him out here. He's feeling healthy. You can see it. And, to have somebody like that who can dominate on the offensive side of the ball is always a good feeling. That's just another threat on our offense.
And he has some experience carrying the ball out of the backfield, too. How do you think he could help the running back room a little bit?
Whatever plays we got set up, I trust the ball in his hands. I seen the highlights. I seen him do it in person. I seen him over there in Carolina. So, I'm just ready to see him, play healthy.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, John, good to see you. I guess to start, what's it like I know you guys have been around here a bit, but just to get back out on the field, what was it like today to get back out there after a while off?
Felt really good. First practice of the season, so, obviously things we got to improve, things I want to improve on, but I thought it went really well.
Obviously, in your defensive line room, a couple guys are out. Chase is rehabbing. Montez is away for the day. How excited is it going to be just once you get everybody kind of back out there together and start that process of getting where you guys want to go?
They both understand how important it is for everybody to be here, but, there was things that Sweat and Chase had to take care of, and as teammates, we understand that, and we appreciate their communication with us. So, it's not a concern on my part. We're excited for the guys who are here, and when they get back, it's going to be even better.
Was it odd being out there with that without Matt Ioannidis and Tim Settle?
Yeah, it was a little weird. It's my first time in my career not having them, so it's the NFL. At the end of the day, we're hired hands, and, we're journeymen, so you got to understand the business. They got to do what's best for them, and I got to do what's best for me. And, we'll meet up in the offseason. But, yeah, it was a little weird today.
And a new addition, Fedarian Mathis. It's still early, but what have you noticed about him, and how can you take him maybe under your wing?
He's going to fit in really well. Playing from Bama, I know the mental toughness is there, and I feel like for me, that's the biggest part about a rookie. Mentally, can he handle all the things that are going to come his way his rookie year? And I know he can. So he's going to be just fine.
What's your excitement level to have Chase Young back healthy again, knowing what you guys can do as a defense with him and Montez?
Anytime you have a guy like Chase Young in your team, it makes you better. It makes my job easier. It makes me look better. So my biggest focus is for him to just get that knee right. After that, we'll take care of everything else.
Last year, this time, expectations were really high for the defense, as you know, and then you guys did not meet those last year. How do you start this season knowing, I guess, what you're capable of and what that is, but also how last year went?
You only are what you put on the tape. So we're not worried about what other people label as expectations. We're only focused on what we got to do as a team to get better. We're not worried about week 1 or week 2. We're focused on today and Wednesday and Thursday and what we got to do to be better and grow and take us day by day.
John, there's talks about, possibly building a stadium in Northern Virginia. You're a Northern Virginia guy. What's your reaction to possibly playing in the area that you grew up?
I would absolutely love that. I just hope I'm here when the stadium's finished.
I didn't know.
He hopes he's here when the stadium's finished.
Yeah.
Any reaction though to just like what are your thoughts in regards to it possibly being here in Northern Virginia, instead of maybe like Maryland or maybe Washington D.C.?
I think it'll be cool. Until we get hard confirmation, I'm not really big into speculating, but I think it'll be amazing. The stadium's going to be top of the line, and they're not going to spare any expense on it. So hopefully it is, but if it's not, we'll make do with it.
Hey, John, you recently tweeted asking what you can do personally to get the fans excited for the Week 1 opener. What was the consensus?
There was a lot of things. Definitely, I feel like as fans, they just want to engage with the players. So do more jersey giveaways, do something as a team that more fans can meet the players. Obviously, giving away free tickets was a big one. So we're going to do a bunch of stuff to really have FedEx Field rocking come week 1.
Have you talked to some of the guys too? I think Antonio Gibson wanted to get in on something to do for the fans.
A bunch of guys want to do it. I mean, we really, this year feels special. The guys are excited. We have a great group of guys, and we want the fans to be into it and excited. And obviously, we understand that winning is the main priority. But if there's anything that us players can do to help bring the fans into the stadium and get them more excited about Sundays, I mean, we're willing to do it.
Last year, you went through the whole extension process before signing that deal. Have you talked to Terry at all as he goes through it this year?
100%. Like, it's tough. Everyone says don't take it personal, but your whole life is about to change. So it's a very personal experience. And I see it from both sides, organizational side and the player side. And I'm always going to side with the player because I'm a player. But I'm sure, they're going to handle it the right way. Terry's a guy that you want to build a team around. I mean, he represents everything we want to build here. So I'm confident we'll get something done.
As a fellow team captain, was it weird not seeing him here, or?
I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to handle his business, and I understand that. We're trying to build a lot of great things here, but he has to do what's best for him first and foremost. So we get that, and we understand that, and we all know what kind of guy Terry is. So we understand that there's going to be some tough negotiations. It is what it is. It's just the business.
And on a lighter note, I saw a bunch of you guys played golf last weekend. How was that? Was there any competitive juices there?
100%. It's always competitive when you play golf, and it was cool, man. We got a really special group this year.
Did you guys win, or your team win? Or?
Against the coaches? Yeah. Nah, the coaches won.
Brought a new couple of Alabama guys onto the roster now, Federian and B-Rob. What have you seen out of them so far?
Everything I would expect. Coming from Bama, the mental toughness is definitely there. So, I mean, like I said before, as a rookie, I feel like that's the most challenging part is the mental side of it. Finding a new place to live, new teammates, new scheme, playing in the NFL, all the things that come along with that. So I know they're built for it, so they're going to be just fine.
Does it kind of even up the Ohio State, Alabama numbers there
in
the
locker
room?
Oh, yeah, no, we're all good now. There's nothing but love between us. I mean, he's everything you want from your starting quarterback. He's a leader, talks to every guy on the team, not just the receivers or the running backs or the offensive line, talks to the defensive guys, and he wants to be here and he wants to win. Really not much more I could ask from him.
Are there any specific experiences you had with the contract that you've shared with Terry?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's tough about contracts is, like I said, it's personal. So as a team, it's their job to get Terry for as cheap as possible to help the team out. And as Terry, you want to be paid what you feel is deserving. And the thing about a negotiation is they're not going to come in exactly where you want to be because it only goes up from there, So it's a balance in that. And like I said, I see it from both points and both sides. But, I'm always going to support my players to get their money and what they deserve. And I think Terry truly deserves it. So we just talked to him about what it was like. And, he has a really great agent. And Terry is a very down-to-earth guy. So he's going to make the best decision for him.
And I know you talked about not caring as much about the external expectations from last year. But do you feel like you have to manage internal expectations at all, even maybe in your room?
No, not really. I can really only speak for myself. And I just know for myself, if I go out there and do what I'm supposed to do, play hard, play physical, make sure I'm in the best shape of my life and preparation is on point, I feel like no matter what the outcome is, I'll be happy with what I do.
And how has your offseason been different not having that contract, discussion hanging overhead?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a point that's stressful. I mean, it's definitely not an exciting. I mean, it is exciting, but it's also stressful. So, just being able to just be done with it. But at the end of the day, I only have 2 more years of guaranteed money. So after that, you never know what can happen. So every day, you're auditioning and you're trying to prove yourself.
Take 2 or 3 more. With the contract and being personal, at some points, was there ever a point where your frustration boiled over that you thought how did you kind of manage taking it personal but not, and those emotions?
I mean, last year when things were getting frustrated, I took a week off from OTAs. And I mean, I know you guys remember that. But at the end of the day, we're all grown men and we have to handle it like professionals. You know what I mean? I went and talked to Coach Rivera and we sat down and we had a lot of conversations. And there was a lot of hard conversations. But at the end of the day, it's a business and you got to treat it as such.
And Jack was saying earlier in an off-season interview that there was maybe some humble pie served with the expectations being so high. Was last year humbling for you guys at all or anything like that?
Maybe, I would say yes as a whole. Like I said, I don't really put expectations because that really doesn't win you games. I just truly believe in standards. If you hold yourself to a certain standard, even if you lose, you can keep your head held high. So I mean, it was definitely humbling, but, expectations don't really do anything. Only thing that matters is what you put on that tape.
Last one. Because of the contract you have, that you've been in this locker room for a while, think Kate easily to take on more leadership into this year than maybe you think they did in the past?
I don't think the contract changes that. I've never been a fan of teams where the people who make the most money are the leaders, because I just don't think that's a good way to go about it. Now, I'm sure that can be successful in some organizations, but I feel like everybody can be a leader in some sense. You know what I mean? Just because you might not be making the most money doesn't mean you can't be a leader. So I don't really think that's why, or my contract is why I want to take more of a leadership role this year.
But do you feel like you are going to take more of a leadership role this year?
I'm going to do whatever I can to help this team win. If that means more of a leadership role, so be it. But my goal isn't I want to be the best. I just want to help this team win in any way possible. And if that means being a bigger leader, then so be it.
Hey, Curtis, how's it feel to be back, and how are you feeling?
It's exciting to be back. After all the stuff I done been through last year, to be able to come out here, OTAs and run around, feel good, was refreshing.
You feel 100%. Is the hamstring at all a problem anymore?
Nah, I feel good. I feel fast.
And what was your impression of Carson?
I'm excited. He gonna go out there do his thing. I think my job is to make the game easier for him. Get open fast. Just make sure I'm on the spot and doing what I'm supposed to do.
You looked a lot faster out there. At what point did your speed return, during this process?
I feel like I've always had my speed. It just was the fear of, what would happen if I run fast. That was the main issue. It was just I always had it in my mind something was gonna happen to me if I was running fast. So now, refresh mind, just excited to be out there, running fast, feeling good. After seeing myself do it over and over, training, before OTAs, it's I know I can do it.
And it was wet out there. You slipped at one point, but you're glad you got right up or anything.
Oh nah, yeah, I be on the ground all the time. I'm not really worried about that. So I know everybody else probably be scared, but I just be jumping right back on up.
What do you do with last year? Do you use it as motivation, try to forget about it?
I kind of don't worry about it. I mean, if anything, I just learned that, my body is really important, and don't really wait till something happens to, get ahead of it. Just constantly work on your body and just, you just never know what can happen, But as long as you work on your body and make sure your body's strong and work on the little things, you can avoid things like that.
And then what does it mean that, obviously it was your first year here, so you wanted to make a good impression, but it seems like they got you right back in the mix. Everybody still believes in you. How important is that?
I think it's pretty much they just believe in my skill set and what I could do. I've been around them before, so I think that helps. They know what I can do out there when I'm out there healthy. And that's the thing. It's just about getting me to that point, and then when the time is right, let it loose.
You said last year the issue was a little bit about just fear of what would happen if you kind of opened it up. How did you get past that?
I trained down in Miami at Bomberitos, and my trainer down there, he pushed me to the limits. And, that's what I kind of want him to do. I want him to put me in situations, put me in different positions, to give me the confidence to know my body's right. Different jumps, different cuts, sharp cuts. After doing that, I was I pretty much could do anything. I told him when I first went out, I'm hey, I don't know. Even though I know I felt good, I'm I don't know. Just the lack of confidence, but I feel great now.
And Jahan Dodson would have been early impressions of another guy for the receiver room?
I mean, a young guy, but y'all seen everything he did in college. He's a great player, good to have on the team. There's no such thing as too much weapons, So we just trying to make the offense, a good offense this year.
Hey, Curtis, you obviously pride yourself on being an asset in the run game as well. Would you want to play more of a hybrid role this season, wide receiver and running back, or would you just want to focus on your receiving talents?
It don't really matter to me. However I can touch the ball, I feel like me touching the ball, it helps our team. But whatever role I got to play, no matter it's receiving, running the ball, I'm down for whatever.
And what are your personal goals this season, team-wise? What are you guys hoping to accomplish?
Just to stay healthy. I think that's my main thing. I mean, as long as I'm healthy and I'm out there, I know everything else is going to work itself out.
I'm sure one of the reasons that attracted you here was being able to play with Terry, and then, last year he's playing, you're unable to, and now he's negotiating a contract. It's kind of weird that you still haven't really been able to link up with him too much on the field?
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I knew Terry for years, you know what I'm saying? We played in college, so it don't really make a difference. That's my boy. It don't matter whether he's here. You know what I'm saying? everything's gonna be right when he comes back. So I'm not really too focused on that.
You know, obviously you're an athlete, you're intrinsically motivated, and the fans here know you for the impact you kind of made in Carolina because you didn't really play too much last year because of the injuries. Do you feel like you have something to prove this year to maybe the fan base, to your teammates?
Not really. I mean, I don't really have nothing to prove to anybody. As long as I'm happy, and when I'm happy, I feel like what makes me happy is going out there competing and doing great for this team. You know, that's my only thing. Is as long as I'm out there, as long as I'm competing, flying around, doing what I'm supposed to do, I feel like everything will work itself out, and the fans, you know, they'll gravitate to it, and they'll love me for it.
Are you 100% healthy right now? There's no lingering?
Oh, no, I'm great. I'm great. Y'all see me flying around out there.
Finally, for me, your first impressions of Carson Wentz, new quarterback, type of ball he throws. What have you seen so far from Carson, and how do you kind of develop that relationship in OTAs?
I mean, it's just trust. You know, just going out there each and every day. You know, I'm excited to have him. Just going out there each and every day and just, you know, making sure I do what I got to do. You know, just make sure the timing is right. You know, that's how I take care of stuff on my end. I can't really worry about, you know, what he got to do on his end because I know he got a lot. You know, I just got to make the game easier for him. You know, like I said, and you know, do my best out there. You know, to get the ball in my hands. I'm really not sure. You know, that's my homeboy, of course. You know, that's my brother. Of course, I speak to him. But you know, I mean, that's just something that he got to take care of. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward whenever he comes back. You know, I'm wishing the best for him.
Did you go through that uncertainty in Carolina, or did you kind of just know you were in free agency?
It was a lot going on, you know, but I wasn't really too focused on that. You know, like I said, as long as I'm out there competing, I feel like my stats did everything they need to do. It's nothing else I got to do, you know.
Jahan said he wants to be a sponge, you know, for these next few months. Does he come to you for advice, or do you kind of take it upon yourself to kind of give him pointers along the way?
I mean, I just feel like our room as a whole, we all, you know, help each other out. Yeah. You know, it's not really one guy. It's just that we all teach each other and we all learn from each other. You know, no matter how many years you're in the league, you know, you always can learn from somebody else. And our job, you know, as a receiver group is to make sure everybody's playing at the highest level they could possibly play at. So it's competition, but we also got to help each other because the more competition, you push each other to become better, you know. So
do you think do you like the fact, you know, if a rookie comes, like, goes out of his way to kind of do things himself to figure it out?
I mean, that's up to them. I mean, you know, I always just say, I mean, if you need help, you can always come to me. You know what I'm saying? Just trust in me that I'm not going to give you the wrong information. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to make sure that you're doing what you got to do, you know?
Thanks, Curtis.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Hey, so since we've seen you last, Ron's kind of given we think Cole can do this in middle linebacker. What's that mean to have that kind of endorsement from the staff?
You know, I mean, it definitely feels pretty good getting the endorsement from the coaches. You know, I did a lot of it last year. You know, beginning of the year I was doing it, but I was calling it from the outside. You know, it made things, you know, a little difficult trying to communicate, get everything communicated across the board. So being able to play Mike makes things a lot easier.
How does it change your offseason knowing that's your focus? This is what I'm training for.
You know, it lets me. I think from, you know, my standpoint, it lets me, you know, really focus in a lot more. I think in years past, I've had to look at every position where now I can just focus on playing Mike and getting that going.
I know last year, just the defense in general, there was talk of some miscommunication, maybe led to some early struggles. Sounds like everybody feels more comfortable so far getting on board. How are you kind of sensing that with guys being back after last year?
You know, I mean, I think, you know, we still got a lot to work on. You know, getting back today, first day, got to get back in that football mode. But I think, you know, letting guys settle into some natural positions, letting us, you know, work on what we're going to play during the season. It's gonna allow us to take a lot of big steps ahead for camp and preseason and stuff like that.
I know one of the reasons you like the Mike spot is playing the chess match with the quarterback. Obviously, it's only just starting, and Carson's not the guy you're really playing the chess match with. But what's it like seeing him back there, and what's your kind of maybe early feel for how he's going to help this team?
You know, first thing I know, he's got a cannon. Duke can sling the ball. You know, we got a lot of fast guys, a lot of fast receivers. I think we got a lot of good weapons, and he's gonna extend our offense in terms of the length of the field. It'll help open up a lot of opportunities in the pass game. Throw that deep ball.
Hey Cole, what have you noticed from? I know it's early, but what have you noticed from Jamin Davis in terms of progression from last year to this year?
Oh, he's taken a lot of big steps from last year. Definitely got a better grasp on the defense. Playing outside, I feel like it's pretty natural for him. He's taking the right steps in what he needs to do.
And you're going to take on a leadership role in this linebacking core, and what does that entail for you?
Just keep doing what I've been doing, man. Run the defense. The guys are looking to me to make plays and run the defense. When bullets are flying, I got to stay calm and get everything, get everybody on the same page.
Do you have to change your body at all, put on weight or something if you're going to play full-time, Mike?
No, I played it. No, I'm good.
Ron talked about communication specifically for you, transitioning to Mike at the end of the year. How do you improve that?
I had the call helmet since week 1. So it's like I called the defense since week 1. All I did was move to Mike after week 6 or 7. We were playing Green Bay. So it wasn't like I had to change anything. I was just calling it from a different area on the field. I think a lot of guys get that twisted in terms of I took over I had it since week 1. It wasn't when JB got hurt. It wasn't when any of that. I had the green dot week 1. After that, I was just able to move to Mike and be able to communicate to the whole defense after that.
Right. I guess Ron had said he didn't think that was a strong part of your game at first, and then he saw growth there. So I guess that's what I was asking.
Yeah, no, it's having Dave when Dave came in, having a vet that I remember my rookie year, man. It was hard. There's a lot of thinking going on. I wasn't talking, and I was the same way that Jamin, Jamin in his first year, he's not talking as much because he's trying to think about if I change the defense, how does that change my job? What's going on? How am I? He's trying to work within the defense. With Dave, you get a dude who's been 7 years in. He knows it. He understands it. So Dave was able to more, help communicate, help me anticipate other plays. Things that he saw. He was giving me tips and stuff like that. So I think it was more so having a dude that knew his job and was able to communicate as well. Jamin was still trying to figure his job out, which, like I said, he's doing a much better job this year, and I think he's going to make huge strides this year.
Ron has said part of the reason that he wants you to go back to Mike is he reevaluated your film at the end of the year and saw a lot of good things. What do you think he saw, or what do you think kind of stood out to him?
I think I had a lot of plays that weren't necessarily, they didn't result in big plays, but I took away, I was able to take away a lot of options that quarterbacks want on their first reads, second reads. It wasn't necessarily splash plays, but I was able to, run with guys that normally a Mike wouldn't be able to run with, things like that. So.
And is that easier to see once there's a full season under, or is it harder to tell week to week, those sorts of things?
Yeah, I mean, you breaking film down after a game, you're looking at corrections. You're not necessarily looking at positive plays, and you're trying to look at what you can get better. And we only have a short amount of time, so we're not necessarily, we're not really looking at if it's a good play, hey, move on to the next. We got to find our corrections, and we got to get going, make these corrections, and then move on to the next week.
Ron's been very outspoken in the offseason, saying this team has to take another step forward. Back-to-back 7-win seasons, not going to cut it. How do you define success this year?
Obviously, first is making a playoff game. Got me the playoffs, win division type stuff. All we can do is give ourselves an opportunity. So, in my opinion, right now, success in the immediate for the season would be make the playoffs, and then after the playoffs, it continue to go.
I wanted to ask you about the schedule reveal. You were part of that video creation of the Smash Room. What was that experience like, and how cool was that?
It was fun. It was I've never done anything like that, so being able to take my anger out on some stuff and break some stuff was pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Gotcha.
It was fun.
You become more of a leader on this defense, especially last year. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself that you've taken on that role for yourself?
For me, it's being more vocal. I'm more of a guy that's like, I'll take a guy behind the curtains, more private one-on-one. When you have the mic, everybody's looking at you during the play, trying to get the play call. So for me, it's definitely being more vocal and not being afraid to speak up when I have something on my mind.
Was it difficult for you to do that, like starting out, or was it just kind of natural for you?
No, I had to work on it. It was definitely took some work. So.
Hey, how was it out there today, and what was it like catching passes from Carson?
It was fun. Just being out there with the guys. First time, my first professional practice. It was fun. Competing at a very high level against some guys who are very good at what they do at the highest level of football. But yeah, catching passes from Carson was, I said it was going to be a dream come true. So honestly, it's a dream come true. And I just can't, I'm looking forward to each and every day.
What sticks out about him as a thrower?
How precise he is. When he says he wants you to be somewhere at this exact time, he means that. And I'm trying to do that every single day. Just learning more and more about him as a pass catcher, and just getting to know him.
What other things have you learned about him besides the precise route running?
Honestly, not much. I haven't been here for too long, so I'm getting to know him every single day, learning more and more about him. So that's kind of my job during these OTAs, is just to be a sponge and learn as much as possible. So I'm definitely going to be in his ear, learn as much as possible from him.
What have been the biggest differences you've seen so far, talking about going up against, the NFL corners, I guess?
Yeah, they're professionals. You could tell. They kind of in college, some guys would, the speed of the game would speed up for them. They would kind of not resort back to their training. But these guys, they're very sound in their technique. And they resort back to their training. Whatever they're trained to do, they're going to do that. And they do it at a very high level. So kind of just learning those ins and outs every single day, learning the feel of guys on the defense is going to help me tremendously.
How was graduation?
Oh, it was good. It was a good time. Got my whole family to come, so it was definitely a good time being back at Penn State one last time and finally getting that diploma.
Saw you catching some punts in the early part. Is that a role you've gotten any more clarity on where you fit in that rotation?
Yeah, I have no idea how that's going to shake out. Hopefully, I'll get to return some punts this year. I feel like any opportunity to get the ball in your hands is a great opportunity. So any way I can help the team and make some shake back there, I'm willing to do it.
How have your interactions been with some of the veteran wide receivers on the team, and have you talked to Terry at all?
I haven't talked to Terry, but having some of the vets in the room like Curtis Samuel, Cam Sims, and even De'Ami Brown has been extremely helpful for me. Just talking with those guys each and every day, just getting feedback on practice and how the script's going and stuff like that. It's good just to talk to those guys and kind of just learn more about them.
During these OTAs, what is the things that you want to work on most?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is becoming more comfortable with the playbook. I was talking to someone I was kind of saying it's kind of like learning English your whole life and then coming here and just learning Spanish each and every day. We call it the same exact things in college. I mean, it's the same exact things in college. We just call it completely different things. So honestly, just being more familiar with the playbook, knowing where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be, being on time, different things like that. So I can just play faster, play to my speed, and just be able to ball out.
Playing.
Yeah, you should probably know how that works out coming from Penn State. It's good to be with those guys like Curtis, especially having him in our room with me. We kind of talk about that a little bit. They kind of got the best of us while I was there, but we won't speak on that too much.
Playing, going from the college level, then you had your rookie mini camp. How much do you thrive on that tougher competition like you had today?
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, it brings out the best in me. I don't know how good I am until I go up against the best. So these are guys that do their job at a very high level, and it's the highest level of football that you can be at. So going against these guys every day, learning from these guys, being a sponge, and just collecting all the information possible each and every day, it's great for me. It's great for the team,
just trying to help the team in any way possible I can.
How's it feel to be back with the fellas and be out there in the rain practicing again?
It feels good, it feels like a long time off, when you get the off season, you be looking forward to it, but you look forward to coming back, and we just out there having fun, first day back.
What do you think about what the offseason moves and what the team did in the draft and some of the guys they brought in, new faces? How's everybody meshing?
Oh, everybody good. We definitely going to do better this year. They brought in a lot of talent. We communicating better. I'm glad we here, because last year it was on virtual. Now we able to touch each other, feel each other. And we out there having fun.
From a comfortability aspect, how do you feel? Obviously, this is year 2 in Washington. Do you feel more settled in and maybe more of a leadership role?
Oh, I feel way comfortable. I mean, the young guys ask me questions. If I don't know, I ask the coach. But I feel good. I'm actually out there knowing what I'm doing. It's not foreign to me anymore, so I'm just having fun.
What made you want to change from 23 to 3?
My college number. I wanted to get back to my old self, and a lot of guys came through here that did great in 23, so I just wanted to switch it up.
As soon as 3 opened up, were you like, I got to get it?
I hit coach right then. I thought he was going to say no, actually, but he actually said yeah, and I got it.
Is it like a comfort thing? Do you just like feel more comfortable wearing 3?
I feel way different because, when you're in college, you out there swagging, having fun, and just to go back to that number in the NFL is a big deal.
Cool. Thank you.
We just starting at a high intensity. We playing fast. No one's out there thinking anymore. We out there playing fast, and we know what guys gonna be now. So we just out there just having fun and putting it all together.
What the last few months been like? Do you guys communicate? Have you
Oh yeah. We got together in the off season. Now we getting together. Now we going bowling. We going playing golf. So we having fun now, and it's definitely gonna transfer to the field.
Who's the best bowler?
I'm always gonna say me, but other guys might feel different. But I'm gonna say me. I'm gonna say me anyway, cause y'all don't know anyway.
You say that things aren't as foreign to you. Maybe what are some things that are more comfortable now that you're in your second season here?
Well, obviously the zone was foreign to me. Early on, a lot of different things they was doing over here that I never did before. But now, as I played last year and know what not to do and what to do, now I feel comfortable coming into this year.
Did you feel like maybe when you watched yourself back, you saw a turning point in the season where you were at that better kind of understanding of what you needed to do in zone?
Yeah, I just hate watching the beginning of it. I hate watching early on because I don't even look like myself out there. But later on in the season, I started playing better, then started feeling like myself, and it started showing on the field.
And lastly, what are your impressions of Carson Wentz? I know it's only been a couple practices, but what do you see from him?
We all know he's a veteran guy. He's a smart guy. So we all know he's going to do good. And it's no surprise if he come in and light it up.
Speaking of impressions, what are your first thoughts of Jahan Dotson?
Oh, he good. He good, man. He going to be good for a long time. But, it's the first day, so we still got to get to know him a little bit and see what he really can do. But so far, he been impressive.
And not always can you bring back the starting secondary, but you guys are basically bringing back the top 2 corners, top 2 safeties. What do you think that continuity is going to be able to help you guys this year?
Oh, yeah, it's going to help us big time because we all familiar with each other. We did a lot of things off the field that we didn't do previous. So we all feel comfortable with each other. We out there talking, we laughing, we having fun, and we know where everybody's going to be, and that's the most important thing when you're playing defense.
Is there a specific game or a stretch of games where if we went back and watched the film that you feel like, hey, this is, I really felt like myself again?
Yeah, probably from, I want to say we played the Buccaneers on back. I kind of felt like myself.
And when you feel like yourself, like, what does that mean?
It's just, I'm out there having fun. I'm smiling. I'm a guy that smile. I like to have fun with it. And if I'm not having fun, then I'm not feeling like myself. So if you see me smiling, it's a good day.
And I know you obviously got accustomed to the zone, but would you like to play a little more man this year as well?
I'm just going to play what they want me to play. That's why I'm here. I got to adapt to whatever they want me to play, and I'm fine with it.
Jack was saying in an interview earlier this offseason that last year maybe served some like humble pie. Did it feel like kind of that way with the expectations being so high and then not living up to them, or how did you kind of view that?
I mean, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves last year because we know we're supposed to be good. I mean, we got every tool and every position that you could think of to be great. And when we wasn't displaying that on the field, we was kind of down on each other because we know we way better than what we were showing.
Is that pressure back this year? Because it is still a pretty strong group.
I mean, I don't feel like there's no pressure now because we actually all work together and we all familiar with each other. It was foreign when I came. Like, I had to get to know all the guys and get to know their terminology, and everybody's different. So when you get to learn the different personalities and how he would communicate with me, then it becomes more calm.
What was it like for you seeing Cincinnati go to the Super Bowl?
It was nothing. I got a lot of friends over there that I grew up with. Cincinnati actually changed my life. So I was excited for them. I was rooting for them. I have nothing bad to say about those guys. And they did good. And I talked to a lot of them before the Super Bowl happened, and they was pretty excited. So I was happy for them because I actually was on the field with those guys.
How important is that to break in the new quarterback?
Oh, that was very important. That was a tone setter right there. It was a tone setter. He did good, and I was excited for him.
You got one of those Commanders jackets, right? In the offseason, one of those.
Yeah, that was dope. That was
Do you wear
dope.
that around, or you just kind of keep it in?
Nah, I try to be cognito, man. I try to. If you catch me in it, then it might be once a month, but I try to keep it up and keep it nice.
OTAs, obviously they're voluntary, but most of the guys show up. For you, what's important to being here, not for yourself, but for the group?
It's very important because last year, obviously, we couldn't really do it like we really wanted to. So it's important just to get everybody in here. We got young guys here. We got veterans here. And that says a lot for your team coming into the season because everybody committed. And I feel like we all committed, and we're not just going through the motion. We're really here to learn and play well.
Is there anything specific that jumps out, whether it be like communication, pre-snap, that like you can see the familiarity and having all of you guys here that helps with?
Yeah, it definitely helped. It's just everybody, like, even with me, I actually know what I'm doing and what he's going to be behind me. Like, coming into the season, we could actually rep it, but it wasn't, can I trust this guy? Can he trust me? So we was kind of playing slow, but now we trusting each other and building that bond.
We talk a lot, obviously, about you and Kendall. What about who's standing out to you so far about some of the guys behind you? Anybody kind of notice maybe take a little bit of a leap since last
I mean, it's the first day, I mean, last year, everybody taking the leap because we all know what we're doing, we all communicating, we all here. So it says a big deal for everybody to be here. And as you say, again, it's voluntary, but everybody's here, so we're excited.